Hello and welcome to the show. I am here today going to be taking a look at my winter car. Yes, this is the sequel, if you will, to my summer car. The aim of the game is, to survive, probably part number one. Second aim of the game is to try and build a car. Now, unfortunately, unlike, it is also nighttime, which is, what's the time? Oh, well, okay, actually very early in the morning time. But we don't have a car. We don't have the car here. Unlike in my summer car, where you actually do start off with the vehicle and all the bits you need to make it work, if I remember correctly. Here, you don't. Here, you start off with a car. You have a car that does drive. You can drive around with said car. But the project vehicle, if you will, we have to go and buy. Now, that is over here. You might recognise this map because this is the same map as my summer car. We currently live up here. Where the house was in the previous one is down here, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, we're going to go down here to try and buy the car. Maybe to try and drag it back. We will see what I am feeling like trying. First things first, so we've got various needs that we need to take care of. One of them is called problem. That is alcoholism. Now, there is, thanks to the very kind people from when I was streaming this, there is a sneaky way to try and help, let's say, cure this, help minimise this, which is you drink one beer and then you go and drink a bunch of water, which does the job. Stress, we could use a sauna, but we don't have one in this. That's at the other house. Or you can use cigarettes, which I don't have, which we could probably do with getting some. But at the moment, none of the shops are going to be open, I don't think. Maybe we'll try the pub. And, well, urine. Funnily enough, that's an easy one to take care of. We can and will pee anywhere we like. It's going to be a bit chilly to do this. But, yes, we can pee over here. Or we can be very careful and pee into our neighbours. Is that our neighbour's house? Oh, that's still our house. There's our neighbour's house. We can pee at their house. Or at random passing cars, if we so wished. There are no passing cars down this street. God, I've just realised we're going to be trying to drive. I'm going to be trying to navigate in the night. This is going to end in a very big crash, I suspect, but that is what you are here for at the end of the day. Now, you will notice another bar, and the body temperature bar is going to be a very important one, and a lot of the game, this being Finland in winter, a lot of the game is based around dealing with the temperature. Now, I'm hoping the car... Eve, you are in the way, so... I'm recording this as it's getting close to the cat's dinner time, and the cats have decided to be annoying. Right, let's get into this one. Now, if we get this fired up... Hey, okay, right, so the car is live. We've got some petrol. What we are going to need to do, I will admit, doing this in the dead of night is probably questionable. Trying to do what we've done to get all of this sorted, we are going to have to scrape the window, which just involves a lot of clicking on it. It's a bit of a faff, but we'll get there in the end. We will scrape it. Is that door shut? The door does not always shut when you think it will. Alright, come on. Scrape the window, clean the car, make sure we can see where we're going. It will clear... Once it's all got warmed up, it will kind of take care of itself a little bit, but you're going to have to warm it up. Can we just go and try and sort out, at least so I can see to drive? I did put on... Well, judging by the temperature, I think I've still got the winter clothes on. Let's just go check. Yes, okay, we've got the coveralls on, which is as good as it's going to get. Right. Directions. Let's go deal with this one first. What is going to be my best way to go? Going to stay in the nice warm while the car heats up. We go out here, we can whiz along there, we can turn off at Loppy. Probably look for the sign for Loppy, and then we will turn down here and make it to the car for sale. Now, admittedly, it is currently quite early in the morning. However, I'm going to hazard a guess by the time I get there, we're probably going to have some problems along the way. Either getting lost. Actually, I wonder if the shop is... We've got to go past the shop anyway. There is like a big petrol station. Maybe that's a 24-hour shop. Who knows? Oh, didn't unplug the block heater. Now, because these are something that you don't see over in England, I've never seen any of these, but in cold climates, very cold climates, you get these. This heats the block up and stops the engines from seizing up, basically. Stops like the oil and all that, like freezing in the cars. So, an important thing to remember. Now, seatbelt, also important thing to remember, because otherwise you are going to have a bad time if you have an accident, because for reasons unbeknownst to me, I decided to play this on, what's it called? Permadeath. You know, make my already very, very difficult game even more difficult. Right. We are good to go. Let's head out of here. Now, if we go this way, it is so dark. It is so dark. We head this way. There is a pub along here, which, you know, maybe we stop at the pub. No, do not stop. We will never get anywhere if we stop at every possible location. I mean, the pub might sell the cigarettes to help limit the stress. Okay, so driving. Let's start with this one, seeing as we are out here. It's quite fun driving on this game, I have to say. It is pretty good, and it is what you would expect. You are on snow and ice. Guess what? You do not have very much grip. The driving physics is, I'm playing on a keyboard because, you know, you're jumping in and out of the car, you're doing all sorts of bits and pieces. And yeah, it's fun to drive the vehicle, and it's challenging and also very quick to punish you if you are an idiot. If you are not being careful, there is a real big chance you are going to have an adventure, and that adventure is going to lead to a big accident. I mean, it could happen in my summer car quite a lot at the best of times. At this, we are talking a whole nother story, if you will. It can be really quite punishing, which I like. I like the challenge of this one. Driving physics is very, very good. Are you open now? I know it's late. Damn it. Oh, no, wait, no, you are open. Hello! Hey, how's it going? Do you have... I mean... I don't know if there is... there is the... You can use the sauna, but I you know, don't have access to that house at the moment. Anyone? I want to pay. Yes, hello. I am here to buy something. Come on. I'm literally the one person here. I am the only person here. Good lord. Yeah, I think you can use the sauna to reduce stress, but that isn't at the other house, so this is just going to be a not very good way to do it, but the way that's going to have to work for now. At least this shop was open, and we can go and deal with this. If we just do that there, if we just open that, and then we will plop that there. Jobs are good anyway. That door is not shut. The doors never seem to shut on this car properly, so you know, it's just one of the constant sources of stress in this vehicle. Now, if we... Everything seems to be going okay. We will seatbelt, because I am waiting for the... I am partially expecting to go off the road at least once during this. We'll set off in second gear. You know, we will get the car moving along. Less wheel spin and all that. God dear, look at the wonderful clear windscreen. We can see where we're going. That's always nice. That's always helpful. Right, out onto the road we head. Oh, there's no turning. It's fine. God, your lights were very bright. Oh, what was high beam? I have forgotten what high beam was immediately. Is it that one? Haha! Right, we found the high beam. Look for the sign that says Loppy. Will I have missed it by a mile? Probably. Will we drive straight past it? Quite probably. But I shall try. Did not remember what the speed limit was here. I feel 80 kilometers an hour is probably more than enough in the snow and the ice. It's just... how much more difficult could I try to make this one for myself? I will admit I was expecting time to be going a little bit, like the day-night cycle, to be a little bit quicker than this, because I suspect we're going to get there too early. Maybe the guy is just hanging around and is quite okay with me turning up at like 4 AM to buy a car. Unlikely. You do never know. You never know on these things. Oh, I'll turn those off. Dude, turn yours off. Come on. You've just got a sun. You've just driving a sun around the finish. Could it be warm, though? Dude, you'd like to sell that? Wow. Bloody hell. I mean, it's like a modern SUV. You are respectful. I like you. I don't know who you are, but you are respectful. I do appreciate it. The other person, not quite so much. No, wait, don't do speed. Don't go try and... don't do speed runs in the snow. Because what's going to happen is there will be a corner, and I will just go straight on into a field. I can tell you that now. Because, yeah, the handling... I say it's simulated. It is a challenge. You are going to spin. It's very easy to slide off the road and have silly little adventures. Now, as much as I have had... I can have fun with this game, I do have some pretty big criticisms, if you will, of this. And chief among which is it doesn't really explain anything that's going on. Now, one of my main problems when it has come to things like The Long Drive or Drive Beyond Horizons, both very, very good fun road trip games, if you will, is that after the first hour or so, they are no longer particularly a challenge. Once you've got, your basic resources set up on them, you are pretty well set. You are pretty well set to not have any further problems, barring glitchy game weirdness. You can you can just get away with whatever. You'll have enough ammo, you'll have enough food, you'll have enough bits to keep the car going, and all of that sort of thing. So this game having some very punishing mechanics in terms of... I know it's not directly a road trip game, but, in terms of trying to keep yourself alive is interesting, and I think that's not a bad thing at all. I like having these complicated systems, largely revolving around temperature, but, you've got to have your blowers working and... keep the block heater going, and all of these different bits and pieces, these different elements of these different details for your car, I think are quite good. The thing is, the game doesn't explain any of it. The game doesn't tell you how any of it works, or indeed how pretty much anything at all works in the game. And that's kind of a bit frustrating. I've ended up having to go, is this the turning we need? Maybe? I don't know if that was the turning we needed, because there's no... Is it? What? I'm completely lost whether that was the turn. We might have needed that turning. I'm just going to let the car behind us go past. There is just absolutely zero information on... There was a car behind... Oh, there is a car behind us. There it is. It's just... going very slowly. There's zero information on how just about anything works, which means to play this game, you end up... I mean, I played my summer car. I don't remember a lot of it. It was a while ago when I played it, and this has that was a pretty difficult game to comprehend at the best of times. This has ended up, you've added a whole load more systems on top of an already difficult game and not explained any of them. Leads to a recipe for frustration. That is not me saying I don't want those systems, because I do. We've slid off the road. I think I was going to turn around and investigate that turning. What it is a case of I'd like some explanation that doesn't involve me having to go... I have sworn when I've tried to go down some gears. That happens. But just a basic explanation. Now, the game does want to try and be... immersive. I'm going to use immersive as the better way of trying to describe it. And I respect that, and that's actually quite a good thing. So you don't have to go and give big waypoints on the map. You don't even necessarily have to give us even a mini-map or anything like that. What I would love to see is, let's say, if you want to go and give a form of some information on how the world works in this one, why not have a book in your apartment that... that's a sign for a bus stop. That has the basic information, how to make money, where to go to find certain bits and pieces. It can be just like a book that you use. That Loppy? I'm not sure. Can I get some, sorry, I'm trying to explain my thought. But yeah, have like a little book that you can flick through that can have the information that you would need on it, so that you don't feel as completely and utterly lost in this game. Doesn't break the immersion, because, let's face it, it's not unrealistic to have some information. I mean, in this scenario, you're supposed to be someone who's lived here, so you would know how stuff is working, right? going into a game. Like, there's a disconnect between real-life logic and game logic. There has to be, of course, because there are things that you can do in games that you can't in real life, and vice versa. And I think there needs to... There could do with some form of sort of information, or a lot more information on this one. Again, that's not to say turn down the difficulty. I don't want the difficult systems removed. I think it's much more... It's interesting to have these. But explain how they bloody work. I don't know where I'm going. Ooh, where on earth have I found? I'm very, very lost. Oh. Is this the... I vaguely remember... Can I nick that car like we used to be able to? I'm gonna guess no. I'm still gonna try it. Like, I remember you used to be able to borrow the muscle car. No, I'm guessing not. Ooh. You can take... No. Oh. Well. Hey, dude, don't mind me. Can I... Does this actually fire up? Surely there's no key in it. That's really cool. I presume... I mean, I'm presuming there's not a way to start it. There doesn't seem to be any ignition. We've just gone on an adventure and I'm finding cars. I do remember this. There was a muscle car in my summer car parked here. I vaguely remember where I am. But yeah, before I got distracted by the muscle car, I would love just a bit more information. As I said, it really doesn't have to be absolutely every... You know, it doesn't have to completely gamify the game if you want to keep the immersion. But, do you not... Okay, there we go. But some more explanation would be really good. The example that, you know, for it I could give is, let's say, Dwarf Fortress, right? Dwarf Fortress is an incredibly complicated game, a game that I have struggled to figure out at the best of times, despite... Doors, please shut, for God's sake. A game that I have very much struggled to figure out, despite my best efforts. That being said, Dwarf Fortress at least tries. It tries to explain, and you can get the basics of the system, even if the true depth of it is difficult to learn quickly and easily, even if it is a very complicated game. I don't know how to smoke. Hold on. How do I do that? To try and lower stress. Cool. Not a good idea, folks, but that is just how it works in the game. But yeah, having some system in place to try and teach you a little bit about the mechanic, rather than having to use a bunch of different guides you find on, you know, on the internet somewhere. Maybe you're watching the... I've been unlikely, and I'm sorry if you are watching this as your intro. I guess I've shown you how to get the car moving-ish. But, like, it could really do with being a little bit, informing you just a little bit more of how stuff works, because I like the level of detail and all of that going on. But yeah, it's just quite an impenetrable mess at times. Now this is of course early access. It is important to remember. Yeah, this is an early access game, and that may well be something that is changed in the future. And I do hope that as I said, like a system of books is a really good way of just make sure the door is shut. Of giving you information in an immersive way. So I hope we see that. But I don't know. If it does just become you're going to have to glean all your... learn how to play this game from random assorted guides. Because it feels very much like this is a game... Again, I'm going to compare it to Dwarf Fortress. Or you can compare it to any other complicated game, if you like. It's very difficult to just sort of learn the stuff organically, because you kind of either know it or you don't. It's not really a straightforward, or even at times even a, what's the right word for it? I'm struggling. Is it this house that I want? Is it this house where the car is? No, it's much further along, isn't it? There is like a little shed we're looking for. But yeah, I digressed a little bit. It's a very complicated game, and it doesn't explain itself very well, which is frustrating, and I'm sure will lead to much frustration from people trying to figure it out. Not to say it's a bad game, but yeah, it is overly overly convoluted and unnecessarily... Like I say, impenetrable, it feels like the right word for this one. But when you do get the hang of it, very, very rewarding. I mean, I do look forward to actually doing the building part of the game. Like, I do very much look forward to that part, because that is fun, trying to put together cars. Now, I know a bit. I did briefly train as a mechanic. I tried train as a mechanic for a little while, once upon a time, before I ended up being a YouTuber. So I know a little bit about car mechanics, and this is very, very, very detailed in the building of a car. That's really cool. Not many games, even if it looks like Car Mechanic Simulator, for example, doesn't go into the sort of depths that you would see from My Summer Car, and this one, so I presume, is very much along those lines. Again, which is a very, very cool thing. I am being a little bit cautious down here, because I suspect this is where we go off into some trees and have a bad time. Did I put a seatbelt back on? Don't remember. It's dark. Okay, I do have a seatbelt back on. I don't even know if I took that off fully. The handbrake's crap in this, and you can very easily drive with the handbrake on. Yeah, it's fine. There's nothing terrible is going to happen at all. Whoa, that's... where is my full... I doubt we're going to find another car along here, and if we do, we're probably in trouble. So let's not worry too much about this. God, I'm hoping I'm going the right way. What is that over there? I do not know. What is that over there? There was definitely something off to the left. We found a train line. I feel like I've gone a wrong way somewhere. Maybe I have. Maybe I haven't. We are very lost. We are very lost. I'm going to hope there's no train coming, because we've not got many other options. I'm very, very lost. I think I'm lost anyway. I don't really know where I am anymore. One of the other things that, when I was... This does not look like where I want to be. I don't know where this is. So, again, along the lines of, I say, video game logic and real-life logic, this game doesn't have a map. Now, it has a map. It's in the house, right? That is your map that you can use to try and navigate around. Now, this is setting 99, I think. Could be wrong. Might have misremembered. Now, GPS would not have been commonplace. Of course not. And I absolutely understand, and I say respect having the challenge of that. The thing is, while I might not want the game to be able to be paused and open a map, in real life, for example, you could buy a pocket map and take it with you. Whereas you can't do that on the game. And is that disconnect? Is this the right... Aha! Right, this is the place. We are here far too early. God damn it. We have found the place we wanted to go, because our car will be in there. The time has just not quite gone on at the way that I was expecting. There, the car will be in there. Can I do the old Finnish mechanic headbutt method? Haha! We can! That will be our car. Can I not go around the side of it? Apparently not. Whoop, that will be our vehicle. You can see some of the bits and pieces that come with it. So you buy the car, and it comes with assortment of parts, but you will have to buy more parts to actually build it up. Again, unlike my summer car, the vehicle is nowhere near complete. I found the vehicle. Oh, I forgot to shut the door. Unhelpful in that I can't buy the damn thing yet. But we have found it. We've got here at a silly time. I guess what we're going to have to do is, I don't know what time. We can drive to the other house. That probably makes as much sense as anything here to go and do, because I think if we follow this road around, there should be... I don't know any idea where we need to turn. Right, there. Right, let's just do that. Do that. Oh, wrong. Here we go. We are off. Right, we will come back for you, I promise. Let's get going. Oh, God. Now I'm trying to picture... So, as I was saying, having like being able to bring a pocket map with you, or have it as an option to buy it in a store somewhere, so that you could then bring it up when you're driving around. Because I have immediately forgotten where I'm going. I think if I follow this road round, I think the next time we see a road on the right, we want to take it. Maybe. I believe that will go to the other house, the house from my summer car. Yeah, because there's a road that loops down. Is it here? Oh god, we're going on a nighttime adventure. Nighttime adventure feels dangerous, doesn't it? It feels like a really quick way to get dead. Probably in a big accident. Right, let's go along. Let's go along here. Now you can choose to, I believe you can choose to build the car. I mean, you can choose to build the car wherever you want. In some ways it's easier to build it in this, the old house. In some ways it's easier to build at the kind of the apartment you start at. The apartment is easier to deal with the temperature mechanics because it's a much smaller building to have to faff about with. This, if I'm going the right way, if I'm not just going to get lost in the Finnish wilderness, this place is better equipped to build a car, but you're going to be faffing about with a lot of other things to try and make it work. I'm not convinced I've gone the right way here. Absolutely not convinced we've gone the right way here. No. Is that the train? If I come across a train line soon, I think we're going okay. No, that's... Wait. Ah, no, maybe it's this turn we need. No, that doesn't look right either, does it? What does that sign say? Maybe? No, wait, that is right. That is right. Yes, this way. Oh, spin the wheels. It's fine. We're going this way. I mean, I don't know really why we're going this way, but I'm going to go... We're going this way to show the house off, and then we'll go back and pick the car up at a later date. Oh, train! Oh, everything's locked. Ugh. There's very little warning for that. Actually, I'll go to this house because I can save the game here. Then we can go salvage the car at a later date. But yeah, it's a very interesting game, and when I streamed it, I had a very, very brief experience with it, and it was quite frustrating to get the hang of it. I've sort of sat down and had a longer think about everything with this one, and in some ways, to me, it's a shame that it is such a convoluted. It's not that it's bad having a lot of difficult systems. That's great. It's just that none of them are explained, and you kind of guesswork. And there's not really a good trial and error way to do it. As I said, it really is just you're going to have to go look at a bunch of guides and all of that. And yeah, with a bit better explanation of how the stuff works, and it doesn't have to be immersion breaking. There are ways to do it, I feel. This would be a very good and a very challenging vehicle game, if you will, as it stands. Though, yeah, it is quite an infuriating one. Once you've got the hang of it, it is not too bad. We are going far too fast down here, and we'll have a tremendous accident at some point, but it's fine. Whoop, there is the house. You might recognise it. Voila, the house that you can still access here, and we will. You can still, as I said, you can still choose to just live here. There's no penalty for that. You've just got to faff about with the temperature stuff a bit more, and there we go. We will have to wait a little bit more until the guy is awake to sell the car, which is fair enough. We found a muscle car, which was cool. Right, we will do that and unfasten the seatbelt, and there you have it. Yeah, my winter car, a very interesting, very technical game that could really do with a bit better explanation. A lot of potential for fun as well with this one. Oh yeah, there's some lights. But yeah, it will probably frustrate you an awful lot, and it really depends on how how much you are willing to put up with the frustration, because you can't just sit and go and build a car like you could in my summer car. There's a whole lot more faffing about that needs to be done with this one, which might put you off, might not. But there you go. Yeah, we went on a little bit of an adventure today. Got there a bit too soon. Oh, we're going to get hungry. It's never ending. But there you have it. Maybe we'll take the shortcut home. Who knows? We can take that across the lake. That, though, is going to be it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching. And until next time, goodbye.